Oh, I guess I can't turn my phone while recording. So, what's going on, guys? It's Tuesday, 6 o'clock. That means another tackle tip live here in my boat. See if anybody kind of jumps on here. 6 o'clock, it's Tuesday night, all season. I will jump on, talk fishing. I'm here in the boat. It's getting close to getting done here. The tackle wall. Tackle's all starting to get worked up, put together here. And let's see if some people get online. So far, nobody. There's somebody. Who we got? Who we got? I wish. I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out, guys. So I can't see who is in here. If you're watching, say hi. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer those questions. 2 people here. Cool. Oh, what's going on, Mike? Yo. I think this summer I'm gonna get you my hunting knives. Let you sharpen up my gutting knife. It's been about 2 years since it's gotten a good sharpening. So far, nobody. Let's see here. So I'm gonna post this, so I might as well talk about FLW, BASS. Well, Mike, I'm just seeing if anyone comes on. I'm gonna start doing this on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. Just talking fishing in general. Any questions that people have. So if anyone jumps on here in the next hour, I'll be here working on the boat here for the next hour or so. So haven't really missed much yet. I've only been on a couple minutes, so waiting to see if anyone filters in. Let me see if I can tag people. That'd be nice. I don't think I can. No, I don't think I can. What's going on, Clayton? Clayton, do you hate MLF style? What's your opinion? I'm using earbuds tonight, by the way, so make sure you let me know if there's any issues. I figured you get crisper sound, especially if I go over to the board and look at baits or anything. Tonight, I was going to look into hanging the transducers for my Helix 7 back on my transom in the back. And probably do more tackle prep than actually work on the boat. The boat's almost done. A couple latches, which I have to buy, and just getting all my electronics set up, really. So the boat's just about there. Matthew, nice seeing you. I'm not sure who you are exactly. Where are you from? Tell me a little bit about yourself. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer the best I can. Yeah, I fished the second half of the season out of it last year, Mike, before I tore it down, put carpet on it. So, yes, it has definitely been on the water. No, not this year yet. Still finishing it up, and everything's cold. Most of the lakes are frozen. Like Redmond's got some ice on it. Pincho's almost frozen. The river started to warm a little bit on the the warming spell here. But it's still a little chilly to run the river right now. I had to work. The boat's not 100%, so no fishing yet. No fishing yet. 2 months to my first tournament. So I got about another, probably early March. Probably about another month to get everything buttoned up. And then early March, as long as everything's installed, I'll get out and start pre-fishing Pincho, make sure the boat's good, and get my hummingbirds dialed in and everything else. Get used to my new rods, my new Enigma rods I'm with this year. What's going on, Mom? Clayton, are you still in here? Might have left. That guy's a stick. Clayton is, he knows Redmond very well, and he knows Pincho very, very well. He can catch him here locally, stripers, largemouth, whatever, so. He's a very good angler, awesome dude. Why are you watching this at work, Mom? Go back to work. A slow night. How long has this been? About 7 minutes. What? Yes, work is lame, buddy. Work is very lame. Gets in the way of a lot of things, like my fishing career. There we go. Just unplug this stupid thing and it'll stand up by itself. It's true. You definitely need to work to be able to afford the boats. Greetings from Mexico. That's legit. How are you? Mexico's got some monsters. Never been there. Well, never been there to fish. I don't know how much I'll know to help you out as far as techniques from Mexico. You might be able to help me out. Have any questions on tackle or rigging or anything like that? I love Fernando. J. Fernando. That's pretty cool. My first tournament's like April 6th. It's a little buddy deal on Pincho to get the season going. The only way that won't be my first tournament is Rob and I will probably fish one in March at some point, but it'll be out of his boat down to the Potomac River. So probably Potomac River in March at the Z20, and then it'll be April 6th most likely on Pincho. What's up, Damien? Zach, what's going on, guys? Y'all have any fishing questions? Anybody joining late? Every Tuesday night, I'm going to do this from like 6 to 7, unless the conversation is getting going. Just talk fishing. Talk amongst yourselves, ask me questions, ask what tackle I'm using, gear I'm using, boat questions, whatever. I'm just here to answer questions and the best I can. I'm not a pro by any means, but I know more than some, less than others. Damien's blowing me up with 1 million likes right now. So definitely, like, just ask questions. I saw that the Bring a Friend schedule just released over the weekend. Unfortunately, the only one that I'll be able to go to, if I choose to, will be the second Marburg tournament. The rest of them coincide with either work, or 3 of them are weekends of BFLs. BFLs. So I'll be all over New York, Champlain, Cayuga, Champlain and Oneida, or at least 2 of them. I think one of the weekends I work, and I think the other one's my friend's wedding in Delaware. So Marburg's about the only one I'll be able to go to if I go to it. Most likely that'll be with Damien. Most likely. Who knows? He'll probably have a partner better than me, so he won't need me. But I know some of these guys. I know Christian fishes is Pincho a good jerkbait lake? Never fish towards the dam. Pincho is an awesome jerkbait lake. I assume you're fishing the borderline opens late March, early April. I'm not going to give you too specific just because I'll be there, at least the second weekend. But yes, jerkbaits play out huge in Pincho before the grass really starts growing, which will be March and early April. Other than jerkbaits, it's going to be rattle traps and spinnerbaits. Those are the 3 things that I really excel at on Pincho. When the grass is not quite alive yet. A lot of people like to go down and fish the grass early spring. I do the opposite. I don't quite get all the way down to the dam, but I fish more of a lay down, rocky structure, like things that keep like warm items, things when the sun's really high and it really starts warming. I focus more on rock and wood than I do grass that early in the year. It's probably not until about June that I really start focusing on the grass pattern and stuff on Pincho. Me personally, I've had luck with it. You can ask Damien. We went out last year and got away from the grass and absolutely caught him. What's going on, Corbin? If anybody wants to learn the Susquehanna River, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm probably going to do it at least once this year, Corbin Gottwalt, the guy who just jumped on, guides the Susquehanna River, and he just gets on them. You can ask any of my followers that are local, like Eric Deller, whatever. He is the guy to see for the Susquehanna River this summer. So get on. You can probably, I don't know if you can click on the conversation, go to the conversation, find Corbin online on Facebook, and shoot him a message. I'm sure he's getting booked up already. And schedule with him. I know I plan to. A lot to just learn how to navigate Susquehanna with the new boat. I want to be able to do it safely and learn good spots to fish the river with just friends and stuff on the weekends. So definitely get on and hook up with Corbin for the Susquehanna River smallmouth fishing. There you go, Christian just said it. He's an awesome guide. So, from what I understand, just talking to him from like Susquehanna fishing tackle and stuff, like he doesn't go out and fish in front of the boat and like smash him in front of you. Actually, I hear like you have to beg him to fish with you. He just gets you out. He knows his electronics amazing. He knows the river amazing. He will get you on a pile of fish. So definitely look up Corbin for a Susquehanna guide. Absolutely. Yes, Christian, I also hope it's thawed. I fished that lake with like ice still on it. You really got to go down to the dam and drop shot and do stuff with the electronics to get a bite, but I have fished it in extreme cold conditions before. Kevin McCarley. How are you, Kevin? I don't know you really personally, but yeah, it is. Corbin's an awesome dude. I've talked to him a few times. We're not like BFFs or anything, but as far as what I've talked to him and what other people have told me, Corbin is an awesome dude as far as helping people. And the dude can fish. A few years back, Marburg, or the borderline open of Marburg, whatever you call it, like a 7-pounder. It's ridiculous. The high seas fluorocarbon. It's good. They have 2 different fluorocarbons. So they have the fluorocarbon leader, which I have both. Give me a second. I'll jump out and grab them and show you what they are. So they have 2 different kinds of fluorocarbon. They have their 100% fluorocarbon, which I'll just grab 6 pound or whatever I can find here. watch out. Alright. I'm using strand fluoro. Alright, so here's the deal. So they make 3 different kinds of fluorocarbon, okay? So they have 100% fluorocarbon leader right here. This is the 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. That's what I use for my drop shots. They have 6-pound fluorocarbon line. That's what I use for trout fishing. And like some smaller, like smallmouth stuff or whatever up north. And then they have fluorocarbon coated, which is basically a copolymer. So it's mono-coated fluorocarbon. The difference between the leader and the line, the leader is true fluorocarbon. So it's stiffer, less stretch, and it's really only meant for leaders, drop shot leaders, 10, 20 yards, whatever, just like a drop shot leader to braid. If you try to spool this up, it'll probably explode and it'll be a terrible experience for you. But it's got the most sensitivity, the less stretch, and it's the most invisible. And Corbin, if you are still on here, know any better than that, you can also jump in on comments. But so that's the leader, and then the line is like toned down just a touch. It's still pretty much invisible. It has very little going on, like reflective nature to it. And then you can spool an entire spool with this, and just like normal fluorocarbon. So you use strands. So like the strands would be this. Strand may make the leader, but strands, line, and every other fluoro that you buy will be this. And then the copolymer is just monofilament with fluorocarbon like wrapped around it to help with the visibility of it. What's the prices used for 12-pound? I'd have to look it up. Their website's AFW Fishing, or like AFW Lines, American Fishing Worldwide or something. And you can go through and you can see all their different line from saltwater, freshwater. I'd have to look it up to be 100% sure, which I can't do while I'm live. So I don't know the answer to that. I also got extremely lucky this year since I've been with them for a few years, and I don't pay for line, so I honestly don't know the answer to that question. I know their monofilament's like 3,000 yards for like $6. So if you need any backing on like monofilament backing, or good like jerkbait line or whatever for like monofilament, it is crazy cheap through them, and I use a ton of it. So you can get a big spool of monofilament for under $10. I hope that wasn't helpful. Who's still on here, guys? I mean, I'm more than happy to sit here and answer all of Christian's questions, and then hopefully he takes them and then beats me in all the local stuff with all my helpful information. I hope so. Spread the word. Go tell your friends to jump on, ask any questions. I am legitimately an open book. What's going on, Rob? I'm an open book in these things, guys. I will pretty much pull out anything, tell you anything. What did you have for dinner? Pierogies, and they were delicious. But no, like, I'm an open book in these things. So I'm focusing more on like my BFLs and things like that. Fishing the Chesapeake, the Potomac, bigger bodies of water. So especially questions like specifically related to like Pincho, Redmond, whatever. If I know secrets, like, I'll tell you, because I'm out there all the time just fun fishing, and I know how hard it was when I was learning to fish those lakes, to find them and figure out different things. And if I can help you do it better, then I'm more than happy to do it. What is a BFL? BFL is Bass Fishing League. It's a tournament trail through Fishing League Worldwide, or FLW. So basically, there's like a bunch of different tiers, like your high school, your college, and whatever. And then as far as like climbing the ranks to like say professional, there's like your BFLs, and then your Costa, which is sponsored by Costa, and then your tour level competition. So it's just a tournament trail, but it's more regional than local. So yeah, I mean, ask questions for sure, and I really hope to get more engaged this year than I did last year, which is why I'm doing these lives and helping people, because that was the whole point of this page, was to just help people and spread my own knowledge. So yeah, Quai's good, especially in the spring. It's just a big spawning flat. They're rattle traps and Senkos and stuff. We were down there last year a couple times. If you're around healthy grass on the Potomac, like, it's tough not to catch them though. Some days are obviously harder than others, depending on tide and moon and stuff. But the Potomac's, it's a fun place just to run around. That was 6:22. D-bomb. I don't use the missile, like the D-bomb specifically. Actually, I can show you what I use. But with the net bait stuff that I use, I'll show you the few little things that I'll throw, like 16th, 8th ounce, whatever, like this little Texas rigs, and working in the grass, and there's like a little bluegill or a little crawfish or something in the grass. So I'll show you the two baits that I do that with. So two of the ones that I use right here. So this one is called, I use a bee-bug, the mini bee-bug. This one's in green pumpkin. So there's this little appendages coming out right here, and then the tail's either together or you can separate it. And then it's very, very thin profile, and like little 1/8 ounce root tungsten weight. You can just flip in there and work it through the grass in the spring. You can also swing that like just real loosely through. And then if you can see this, those are all pocket slims. Every single one of them is a pocket slim. I use the absolute crap out of pocket slims. Pocket crawls, I use them as well. I use them more, sometimes flipping because they're hollow, you can hide the hook and then get through it easy. And then I use them as tubes. So if I'm on the river or somewhere that I would typically throw a tube, I use a tube hook and then throw them on tubes instead. So those are the two that I typically use. I'll use both sides of the pocket slims. And then I use just the mini bee-bug. So those are the those are what I use on Potomac, early spring. I'll also do that on Pincho during the summer. Just like a little creature bait, just flip on the grass edge and stuff. Watermelon peppers work good. Watermelon, I use watermelon red flake as well. And then like my staples, I think this is like called like an Okeechobee crawl maybe. I have to check. So it's green pumpkin on one side, black and blue on the other. June bug, absolutely. I'll use green pumpkin with the already dyed tips, the blue tip. Green pumpkin, then I have like a watermelon flake right here. I don't know if you can really see the flakes or not. Kinda. So usually like blue pumpkins, black and blues, green bugs, or green pumpkin, June bug, black and blue. Pretty much the staples. Staples I use all the time. I try to keep things fairly simple. So that's cool, Zach. That's cool. Maybe you'll learn something. Yeah, any questions? One of the best Senko colors I've ever thrown is Dustin Slinker can say this. It's on my YouTube channel. We went to Redmond and I used, it's a green pumpkin violet, the 5.5 inch just Senko. It's just a Bass Pro Shops. It's their brand, the green pumpkin violet, and it does some work on Pincho, or not Pincho, Redmond. It does some absolute work on Redmond, and I watched it do some serious work on Smith Mountain Lake post spawn, on fry garters around docks and stuff. Thank you, you as well. I heard the name Christian. I'm sure I've seen you a couple times. If you see me at events or whatever, just introduce yourself so I can kind of put a face to a name, and whatever. But just trying to help people. Hopefully I do. A lot of these videos, by the way, like I'm talking about like high seas and net bait and whatever, and I encourage you completely to use this product, because the only reason I use it is because I believe in it. Like if I don't believe in a product, then I'm not even gonna like try to get a sponsorship from them or work with them or use the product. And I use products other than the logos on my jerseys, absolutely. Like net bait really doesn't have much in the way of drop shots, so I throw robo worms all the time, and I'll even use robo worms as a shaky head, which Rob and I did on the Potomac, and it worked out pretty good. We got a limit of the boat called and everything. So don't think I'm like pressuring you into purchasing like Enigma or net bait or high seas. Just it's what I have in my boat, so it's the product I'm going to show. But a lot of the things I show, like he talked about the D-bomb, the missile baits D-bomb, and the missile baits D-bomb is a great bait. So it's the same as like a biffle bug or whatever. So make sure like you use what you're comfortable with and have confidence in, because that's how you're gonna catch more fish. What up, Steve? Did you just get home? Steve's probably gonna outfish me this year from the back of my boat, or he'll just kick me off the front of my boat. He usually does that, and then I end up in the back of my boat. I have no idea how many people are still here. It says 3. I don't know. I wonder what add does. It says I can add you, Steve. I'm going to hit add and see what happens. Bring Steve Clutter on camera. Yo, that would be fun. Steve, do you want to be on camera? I can add you to this, and then we can talk about stuff to people who probably aren't on here, but that'd be fun. You want to play with it? Oh, no, I can't. Where'd it go? That's weird. I should have done it when I had the chance. I don't know. It's kind of dark. Not any better. feel like holding this though. Got some baits over there, some rod tubes. A big 200. How come I can't add you now? Now I can. There we go.
Oh, that was loud.
That is weird. Go ahead and tone that down a little bit.
Yeah.
Not me.
I like earbuds in and you blew my ears out.
It's not me. You broke shit.
Hmm?
Why am I live with you?
I don't know, because no one's on here and I would play with it.
Oh, how's it working?
Good.
That's cool.
What are you playing with?
I'm about to pull mine.
Hold on. What's up with Eric?
Get rid of this line that's on these reels.
Are you taking out your reels? Susquehanna?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to throw them in the truck, and next time I'm up there, just in there. I don't know if I want to do it this early or not. It's still cold.
I stripped all my stuff months ago.
Yeah, I think I might just strip it and hang on to it. Well, I want to get up and get the, Why am I echoing? Am I still echoing?
It might be me. Hold on.
Is that better, Zach? Check it.
No.
That's probably... Who knows?
I don't know.
How long are you going to be up at the boat?
Huh?
How long are you going to be up at the boat?
I'm probably going to stay live for like another half hour. And then probably get some tackle organized.
Alright. I'm going to hop out, so...
You want to come up?
Yeah.
Alright, see that. Alright, now that he's gone, is the echo gone? He's just going to shoot up here. He should be here in a couple minutes. While that was going on, what's going on, Eric? Scott Dice, how are you? I hope everything's going to go with you this off season. Hope you have a lot of business getting boats ready for next year. Cliff Hartman, how has practice gone this afternoon with that baitcaster? Cliff messaged me earlier today asking questions about throwing a baitcaster. I gave him some advice. And, hopefully it panned out a little bit. So, all right, cool, it's gone. So I'm going to come over here and start looking at some tackle. Ooh. And go through some stuff here. Well, he's that. There's some light. Let there be light. A little bit of light. I'll move this over here. Brighten some stuff up. How's that? All right. On here. Larry, did you find a Pinterest stuff? Are you still looking for a partner for Pinterest stuff? Are you fishing the Pinterest stuff? Getting better, a couple nests, but work through it. Cool. Did you tape it at all? Restrict yourself for better or not as bad of blowouts? That's what I would do. Tape that line so you can learn how to use a baitcaster. Let's probably unlock the door so Steve can get in when he gets here. He throws a lot of different stuff than I do. He'll throw top water when it's freezing cold, and he'll throw top water when it's 1,000,000 degrees out. I don't get it, but whatever. Well, as long as it worked out for you, I guess you didn't have to tape it off then, Cliff. Let's see here. I don't want to do any giveaways because there's like no one on here. So tell your friends get here at 6 o'clock on Tuesdays. And I have no issue giving stuff away. I mean, I have plenty of just stuff to give. I got so much crap. More. Ooh, I can't rotate the phone and you see on at me. Like I got stuff not even open yet. Get your friends on here. I'll give it away. No problems, no questions asked. I'll ship it right to them. All right. Let's adding the weight and adjusting brake was key for me. Absolutely. Heavier the lower the better. Rattle traps usually fling pretty tried and true. Take the hooks off some traps or half, 3/4 ounce weight or something, and you can throw it a lot easier. Zach has no friends. That's cool. He'll be okay. All right, let's talk springtime bass. So this is not just springtime, but springtime on the bay, the Potomac, Pincho, grass, wood, rocks, whatever. I'll be throwing these quakes as well. Super excited for both those colors. Darker water, that's for the Chesapeake, for like to imitate your yellow perches and sunnies and things like that. So early spring, gotta have yourself some traps. Staples from last year. There might be some still hiding in some other boxes. These Berkeley War Pigs. Your red's gonna be a staple. Feeding on crawfish early spring. I can get them off. There's no trick for this, by the way. All right, so your reds will be a staple. Fire tigers work well. Some darker colors. Let me see if I can find. Those are squirrels, Seikos. I have a mixed box. This is like my co-handler box or my travel box. So if I'm going someplace like the Potomac, I just kind of throw everything in here. So this Berkeley War Pig is what won my club tournament last year on the Chesapeake Bay, 17 pounds. Absolutely smashed them. So great color there. Let's see what else we got here as far as colors. You have your reds, your browns work real well here. You got your browns. So early spring, you have to get your rattle traps out. Absolute must. I'll start putting some of this stuff away while I'm sitting here talking. What's going on, TJ? TJ's in the Borderline Club. If anybody has questions about the tournaments coming up, you can probably drop some comments there. It's a lot of fun getting hooks off each other one-handed while holding a phone doing this. Come on, you guys have to have some questions. There's a couple people in here. All right, so rattle traps, absolute must have early spring. The second thing that I have tied on early spring, especially on Pincho, is gonna be jerkbaits. Now I'm a little low right now on the jerkbait front. I sadly lost my Vision 110 last year, which is very, very sad. Is crawfish colors only good for river during the hatch? No. Absolutely not. I can hear Steve's truck coming. That's ridiculous. No, reds work awesome. All the time, really. Getting down in there, there's like two different crawfish colors that I really focus on, which is going to be, well, three, which is going to be like your green pumpkin or brown color, your orange color, and your reds. So that's going to be your crawfish deal, especially rattle traps, square bills, things like that. And then when it gets to work great. And then you have this is like a live target minnow. And you have your silvers, your golds, and like your blues, your reds, and different stuff like that. But more times than not, I'm throwing shad colors when it comes to jerk baits. I don't think I have any over here. The next one's going to be spinner baits, which everyone should know what a spinner bait. That's my spinner bait colors. Square bills, early spring. I have a ton of them, but you're going to be looking at early spring. You're going to be looking at your reds, your bluegills, and like chartreuses. Dirty water, you're going to let your chartreuse and blacks. Clutters here. And he's got poles and tackle. All right, so your square bills got that should be checked out. I don't know. I worked a booth, so I really didn't leave the booth. Just being honest. Red square bill, bluegill square bill, and then something in the line of like chartreuse. It's very difficult. Where is it? Did I lose it? I don't think I lost it. I don't know where it is though. Chartreuse, blackback. Mega Bass S Crank, and he will attest to it, is the best square bill on the market. Right, Steve? Mega Bass S Crank, best square bill on the market. He does believe. His opinion, my opinion, lots of opinions. There we go. There's a sexy shad. S Crank. So that's what you need to look for as far as spring fishing. Rattle traps, jerk baits, square bills, spinner baits. Can you add anything to, hold that, talking to that. Can you add anything into, on that list?
What list?
Your springtime, like true springtime lures, other than jerk baits, Vision 110, spinner baits, square bills.
I'm gonna say like spring.
Like the Torment, April, and Pincho. Jig's always good, eating crawfish.
Vision 110.
Yeah, Vision 110's Mega Bass jerk bait.
Yeah, it's a little early for top water, but I'll probably throw it anyway.
Yep.
So, yeah, your basic shit.
Pretty much. Absolutely. Hope they covered your springtime stuff, guys. Time is it? 44. You guys got 16 minutes. And then we start unspooling, respooling, organizing tackle, and getting some stuff done without you attached to my head. So keep the questions coming here.
One of those shit rods that they break all the time. Not that they can't settle it, they can't push them.
Steve's complaining that a store, which I'm not even going to mention the store because I didn't hear it exactly. I heard it from a person who helps out at the store, but I did not hear it from the people in charge of making decisions at the store. But he's upset that someone's getting rid of 13 fishing off the lineup. So he's just over there mumbling about that decision.
That rod really had a hard time with that 1 ounce fucking jig and a 5-pounder attached to it. It really had a hard time.
Yeah, the 13s aren't working. They're not working for Dave Lefebvre or Stetson Blaylock or any of the elite pros either, and MLF pros.
They have a really cheap line. From what I get, a very cheap line.
The best river maps. Susquehanna Fishing Tackle probably has some maps for the river. I know the new Hummingbird mapping that comes stock in the birds to like navigate while running. I know the birds have some pretty good mapping, navionics and whatnot. If you're talking fish finders, as far as like a hard map to look at, I don't know if I have any of the maps up here for like a brand. But I know like Susquehanna Fishing Tackle, and probably Hoghead and a bunch of those. Whoever has like fishing maps probably has some topographical maps of the river that are pretty good to look at.
It's still only going to give you an idea of our river. Our river is so up and down, up and down.
Yeah, the Susquehanna changes so much, and like they're not going to point like every little boulder out and stuff. So it'll give you a base of where stuff kind of is, but yeah, hard map. Hoghead and Susquehanna Fishing Tackle or somewhere online. Just look up like topographical like water maps and see if you can't find one. But I know Susquehanna has a huge wall of maps like behind the counter, so they probably have something that you're looking for. I know I have one for Marburg. I have one for Racetown. I have one for Redmond. It's not real good, but I have it. They hold like 600 yards of line. Steve said, you know what sucks about BB1 Pros? They hold way too much line, which is not a bad thing, but they do hold a ton of line. There should be a garbage bag behind you to the left, maybe somewhere on the floor there. There you go. There's the garbage bag in the bag. You can start that one. All right, anyone else have questions? It's only showing one person on here, Cliff, which I believe is you. I think other people bounced off. So if you do not have any other questions, I'm going to cut this a little bit early tonight. But pretty good talk with some people. Make sure you tell everyone next week about it. We'll be back on here at 6 o'clock, talk more fishing, a little bit closer to the season. And we'll go from there. So, Cliff, if you're good, I'm going to bounce and start getting some tackle ready. Cool. If you have any other questions, Cliff, just message me and I'll help you out. So see you later, guys.